Choosing the right tool for the job. The first challenge in making a chart isn't the how, it's the which. Excel gives you a whole workshop of charting tools, but picking the right one is what turns a pile of data into a clear story. Before you even think about creating a chart, you have to look at your data and decide what you're trying to show. Let's walk through a few common scenarios. When your data is simple, keep your charts simple. Let's start with two classics, the pie chart and its cousin, the donut chart. Both are designed to do one thing really well, show parts of a whole. Imagine you have a simple count of student by gender, say 40 females and 50 males. A pie or donut chart is perfect for this. Each slice or segment clearly represents one group's share of the total. Here's the catch, though. These charts work best when you have just a few pieces of data to show. The moment you start working with a larger, more complex data set, both pie and donut charts begin to fall apart. The slices get smaller and smaller until they're just unreadable slivers. It also becomes nearly impossible to add useful data labels that show the value of each tiny piece. So my advice is simple. If your data set is small and you're showing proportions, a pie or donut chart can be great. For anything more complex, you'll want to reach for a different tool. Tracking changes over time. Now, if your goal is to show how something changes over a period, you'll want a line chart. Line charts are the absolute best choice for what's called time series data. They're fantastic for showing trends and fluctuations because they literally connect the dots from one point in time to the next. For instance, if you have monthly income data for every month from January to December, a line chart will instantly show you the peaks and valleys. You can see the story of the year unfold, how income rose and fell with each passing month. For any data that has a time element, a line chart is almost always the right answer. Your go-to chart for almost everything. The most versatile tools in Excel's charting toolkit are the column and bar charts. They're essentially the same thing. It just depends on whether you prefer your bars run vertically, a column chart, or horizontally, a bar chart. In my experience, if you're ever unsure which chart to use, a column chart is a fantastic starting point. It's suitable for a huge variety of data types, whether your data set is small or large. You could use one to compare income across different seasons, for example. You can even add helpful details right onto the chart, like data labels that show the exact value for each column. If you want to get a little more advanced, you can add a trend line to see the general direction your data are heading. They are truly the workhorses of Excel charts. Stacking your data for deeper comparisons. Sometimes a simple column chart isn't quite enough. What if you need to compare totals and see the parts that make up that total at the same time? That's where a stacked column chart comes in. It's part of the same family, but it displays your data in a clever way. Imagine you have sales figures for some person, but those figures are also broken down by season. A stacked column chart takes the individual columns for each season and stacks them on top of one another within a single bar for each season. Each colored segment in the stack represents a different person. This gives you a direct visual comparison for two dimensions at once. In this case, how sales in each season compare and how each person contributed to that season's total. It's a really effective way to add another layer of understanding to your data. Making an impact with geographical data. For a chart that really makes an impact, you have to check out the map chart. It's an incredibly effective way to display geographical data. I think these look so professional when they're done right. Here's how it works. Excel takes your data, like population, and plots it on an actual map. The data are then colored in based on their value. This gives you an instant overview that's both informative and pretty cool to look at. It's a powerful way to represent any data that's tied to a location. Where do I find all these charts? You're probably wondering where to find all these options. If you go up to the Insert tab, you'll see a section dedicated to charts. You can explore the different types there using the drop-down menus. For a complete view of everything Excel has to offer, just click the little diagonal arrow in the bottom right corner of that Charts section. That opens a window with every single chart type, all neatly organized for you to browse.